Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Christina. If you guys are new, today I am super excited. I was feeling in a funk yesterday. I was trying to film, but I ended up not being able to film. I did get to film one of my videos that I actually was very happy and excited about because I got to talk about one of the stories in the Bible, so I was pretty excited about that. I wasn't able to finish it with my makeup, so of course if you guys want more stories from the Bible, then don't be afraid to comment down and let me know what other names you guys want to hear from the Bible. My favorite one was Solomon. Those are just one of the kings that I really enjoy listening to, and it also gives me understanding in my own life and what God tries to teach me. But of course, other than that, I wanted to get into just this new look that I'm feeling for, since we're falling into the fall, and I seem to want to do just a little bit of pop of color but make it really nice and just fall but flirty, but at the same time very settled. I don't like to do too much of a full glam, although sometimes full glam can be super sexy, super nice also for fall, but I just decided that I wanted to make it very simple so that for first beginners can try to do this at home. I don't want to keep on rambling here, so we are gonna do some little mix of blue shades. So if you guys are ready to get this look, then just keep on watching. And on top of that, before I go, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel so that you can get every upload from my videos and be a part of the Sanchez family. But without further ado, let's get started. Alright you guys, so I wanted to go ahead and start using all my haul makeup that I did previously on my other videos, and I wanted to share with you guys some things that I like and some things that I didn't. But so far so good. I pretty much love all of them. I'm just starting to pick up after maybe a couple days of wearing them. My favorite product of all that I've been using and that I kind of put on hold was my Anastasia Brow Wax. And the one that I just now been using was the Revolution Makeup by London, and it's the brow soap styler. So I've been using this with my e.l.f. product, and what I notice is when I wet it with like a setting spray, it does give me like that nice fluffy brow, and it's like a nice lift to my brows, so I really enjoy that. Sometimes you do have to spray the product a little more or just kind of do it quickly, because if not, you know, but soap does dry up and then you have to reapply more wetness to the soap. But so far I really like this product, and for the price of it, I don't think it's really bad. I know that there were some bad reviews about it, but for this price, better than the Anastasia, which is like $22 I believe. This one is super natural because it's just soap, and you get the same consistency that you would get with the Anastasia one. So either way, they're still both good products. I love both of them, but this one in particular has been my favorito, my favorite. So you guys try it out, go and get it at Target or Ulta. Now that I finished doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start fixing my brows, and I'm gonna use my e.l.f. pencil. You guys already seen it on my my video, but of course if you guys want to check out my brow tutorial, I will link it down in my description box for you guys to check it out. I know it's been a minute that I haven't done another brow tutorial, because maybe it was probably like last year, but I'll probably make another new brow tutorial because every day I have something new with my brows, so it's kind of like old and redundant when I just still have the old video. But if you guys do want to check out that brow tutorial, I will link it down and check it out, and soon enough I'll have a new brow tutorial pronto. I'm just gonna go ahead and do my brows off camera, and then when I come back we'll finish off with the rest of the face. Alright you guys, I am back. So I went ahead and kind of did my brows off camera, as you can see. So using the NYX Lift and Snatch in Caramel. When I say that this stuff really does work, it does the same thing as my Glossier, and it has like a tint of like a brown red color, but I don't care to use it. Why? Because since my hair, since I tinted it, is kind of the same color as this, and I've been trying to look for products that kind of go with my brow color as well as my hair. So it's been really hard. I mean, I'm used to the black brown hair and black brown brows, but I wanted something to match my hair, so I picked this one up thinking it was probably going to be too light, and it ended up being the right color. And I love how once I, you know, fill them in and stuff, like it made my brows look nice and just matching. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and clean them up really quick, and then we'll move on. Alright you guys, now that I said I had to go put on like a little jacket because my room is cold, I'm gonna plump up my lips a little bit, moisturize it before I start to add any products on my lips. I've been going through this whole video and not knowing my lips were like needed. So I added the Diamond Plumper from Mineral Wear. This has like a minty fresh feel to it, but I don't feel like it's very plumpy. It does give you like just a tad bit of a sting, but honestly I feel like this could be more for like a moisturizer than it is as a lip plumper to make your lips bigger. Or it's just me, maybe my lips do kind of get it to work, or my lips are just born like this. But either way, I love the product. It smells so good, and just look how the cute packaging it is, and it's just very clear, and it has like that glitz of like gold silver in it, or it's very pretty. So let's move on. I'm back. I had to take like a little coffee break for like a second. I needed the coffee to work. Alright, so now that we prepped, we cleaned up our brows. I already talked about the NYX product, so now I'm going to go in with the Acne Putty Primer, and I'm just going to add this on my face or wherever it's red. That way when I add any product to my skin, it won't, you know, interrupt the foundation, because usually I don't keep my makeup on for that long, except if it's occasionally like if I'm going somewhere, then I would probably do like maybe full coverage. But even if I use a little bit of product, like I want it to last. I have like this one little pimple here that has like, I don't know what it has, but it's like one of those little stuff that's is in there, but you could pop it out. But it's so stubborn that I just left it alone because I didn't want to keep irritating it. My acne worse, where it ends up looking like this scar that's been there for months, like months. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with my lids because I don't want no fallout from the eyeshadow as soon as I prep my whole face. So I'd like to start off with my lids first, and then we'll move on with the rest of the face. I'm gonna be using the Bite Size ACAI U, and it's this 4 little mini eyeshadows that come in different shades, and they all have like these 2 shimmer shades that are really pretty. They're like a purple blue, and then they have this darker blue and this light baby blue. So I'm gonna be trying all of them one at a time and get like this nice little fall look. It won't be exaggerated, it'll just be very simple, probably with a nice little wing and some pop of lashes, and that's about it. The Pete Louise base in Rumor 2, and I'm going to use this as my primer to prime my lids. And I only use literally this much. I usually put it on the palm of my wrist right here, but I don't want to. So that's what I'm using, just a little bit. I don't like to use a lot of primer because my eyes are already dark, and as much as I want this look to be very soft, I don't want it to look too cakey. I like my lids to be just the same color because, believe it or not, I feel like for some women of color, or some that have like my texture of color, I I don't know, I just kind of feel like their lids and the color of their skin kind of makes the eyeshadow pop out more than using a primer for your lids. But I mean, if you are all for a primer for your lids, then go right ahead if you want that pop of color. Me, I want a pop of color, but I don't want that much. By the way, do you guys ever have that moment where you think you're ready to film, but then you kind of get into this funk and you're so tired, you've done a lot of chores, had to deal with the kids, make a schedule, make a menu, and you're just tired. You don't have time. You really don't have time for nothing whatsoever. So that's how I was yesterday. And what I like to do is I like to use my ring finger kind of to press in the product. That way everything is smooth and ready to begin. Before I used to set it with powder, and it's good to set it with powder, but I don't know if I want to use powder today because I don't want my lids to get too dry. Grab the palette here, and I'm going to 330M brush. And just a quick side note for beginners, if you are looking for brushes and you just randomly just buy brushes, it's okay to buy brushes, but when you buy brushes, I wish they would have told me this from the beginning before I started getting into makeup. I wish that they would let you know that when you try something out, make sure that the brush literally covers your eye. I mean, eventually you'll build more brushes for different eye shapes, but if you're learning on yourself, find brushes that literally fits your eye shape so that the blending can blend seamlessly, nicely, and not so patchy and just everywhere, you know, because if you get brushes that are literally like bigger than your eye, then you're gonna always notice that your shadow isn't blending how you want it, and then it looks this way, and then on other people it looks a different way. I mean, there's some people that use filters, of course, to kind of cancel out their errors, but if you're really trying to learn, find brushes that fit your eye shape. And that's it. I'm looking at this palette right here, and I'm not sure what I want to work with first. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go in with this blue shade, and I used this before, but I started off using it on my lid. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just set this on my lid, just in the center right here, and I'm not going to blend it all the way. I'm just gonna set it right in the center. That way I can start building the other colors together. And right now I'm just guessing. I'm guessing how I'm gonna do this, so you guys give me a break. So I'm just gonna blend this as I go, and you can see how nicely blended it looks. I only tap a little bit because it does have a lot of fallout. When it comes to drugstore, some have a lot of fallout, so I tend to tap it a little bit. But sometimes I don't tap it all the way because I still want to keep that product, like the color on the brush. I don't want to lose the color from the shadow and dust off way too much. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just patting it, making it very seamless. But since I found out the secret of finding the brush that fits your eye shape, it changed my whole game. And that's why now I'm not so mad. I'm embracing my creases on my eye, but I'm also learning about it. So that way I can later on try it on others who do have the same issue, and it'll become very easy for me or for you. Alright, now that I gotten so far, this color here, I think this one I really blended really good. And this one I'm blending it, but it's just that small space. Now that we finished with that brush, now I'm gonna get a more fluffier brush, like kind of like this little smaller taper brush, and it's the M506. I am going to go in, and I'm scared to use this one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with this purple shade, and I'm gonna use that on the sides of the blue, that baby blue. So this is how I'm gonna do it. So I start off here just to make like that overline, and then I do the other side. This part I don't tap it, I just keep the product because I want to build those two colors together. Then once I get two colors on to the eye, I'm going to start shaping it. And you can always go back with that baby blue color in case the color fades. It happens, so don't be discouraged if it doesn't come out the way you want it to. Learn. Alright, now we're gonna do this side. Alright, so I'm gonna keep blending the two colors together, and it's a pretty color. Like this shimmer is very pretty, like it gives me like fairy vibes. I don't know why, but it just does. But it's very pretty. Now that we finished with that, I'm gonna get like a more cleaner, fluffier brush. This one might be a little bit big, but I'm just going to kind of blend the rest of the colors together so it doesn't look so blotchy. Do we still use that word? Is that even a word? Just not blended, and it'll just look nicely. I mean, I love a messy shadow. I think that is like the trend now. It's like the vibe, so I don't mind it, because I feel like when models do it, I don't know, it just looks so good on them. 1, 2, and I'm going to pat that blue color in again, because like I said, it did erase. You can use a fluffy brush like I did earlier, or you can go in with a flat brush if that works best for you, and just follow the guide where you kind of place the color. I'm taking my time. This is how I usually do it. I mean, I know for some people it's different, but you know, there's gonna be some people that are gonna be like, what is she doing? But this is how I learned how to do my own blending. Alright, you guys, now that I finished, let me turn off this light. Now that I finished with the two colors, I am now going M165 brush from Morphe, and remember that darker blue, like it's like the navy blue, I'm gonna use that as like a wing. I haven't done this in years. This was my favorite wing liner when I didn't like to use like liquids and stuff. When I didn't want to learn, I always went in with different types of eyeshadows that were like dark to make my my eye look like it was a wing. I think we're completely done. So now let me just go ahead and start on my face. Charge Brightening Eye Tint from Milani, and this one's in the shade Peach. I usually use kind of two bases for my under eyes, but sometimes I like to go and mix the two. I'm gonna also use the Flawless Brightening Concealer, which is the corrector from e.l.f. and I'm just gonna go in on some of the areas where I have pigmentation. So a lot of freckles, and I get that from my dad a lot. And you know what, I need to wipe my, hold on you guys, sorry you guys, I had to go and grab some wipes so that I can clean up some of the eyeshadow. By the way, denser brush, I'm going to use the Real Techniques crease brush to blend all this in. Usually I blend it with my beauty blender, but sometimes I prefer like smaller brushes because it gets in those areas and it's easier for me to blend quickly. Without the sponge, I'll be there all day doing it. Now I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Camel Concealer Sponge, and I'm just going to press that in my under eye. This is the medium beige hydrating concealer. I've been kind of loving this, but I also been using the Camel concealer that's not the hydrated one, and I feel like that one gives me a lot of coverage. I don't know why this one doesn't. I don't know. With the Nars medium 2 ginger, this one's a little light for my complexion, but alright you guys, so I am showing you how I kind of highlight my face using the Nars Creamy Concealer and medium 2 ginger right here. I don't like to extend the concealer too much just because I'm kind of over doing the whole line thing. Bit of some translucent powder because I am gonna put some eyeshadow underneath the e.l.f. ACAI in M23 from Morphe, and I'm gonna use the darkest shade, which is this one right here. And I'm gonna just place it halfway. I'm not dragging it all the way out under my lash line. And then I'm gonna use these two shades. I'm gonna mix them, and then I'm gonna drag the rest of the color under my lash line. I'm gonna go back with that blue that I used on my eye, and I'm just gonna place it in the inner corner. Fluffier brush to kind of smudge that color in. Keep the powder in for too long, so now I'm gonna start to kind of fade the powder away. And then now I'm gonna go in with my mineralized medium tan skin finish in MAC, and I'm just gonna now set my face. I'm gonna use the Sonia, correct me if I'm wrong, Kashuk brush. I feel like this is a good setting and foundation brush because it's light coverage and I don't have to like blend a bunch of powders and make my face look way too cakey. At least when I look at it, it doesn't look so cakey. The Toffee 330 from Maybelline, and I'm just gonna use it kind of on the areas where I just want a little bit of coverage. Alright, I'm gonna use the monochromatic multi stick in Glimmery Guava from e.l.f., which is this one right here. And this is how I do it. I don't really take my time with a brush. I just stamp it, and then I bring it down on the ridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, and my chin. And that's how I get a nice glistering blush look. Alright, now I'm going to use the JELLYPOP glow stick, and I'm going to use this as my highlighter. So I just add just a little bit. Alright you guys, so I added some gems onto my face. Now I'm starting to look like a little bit of Chola vibe. OG lashes in style Giggles. So this is how they look. By the way, Prince, you save princesses. Because the prince is like a king. Alright you guys, I just finished popping some lashes. I'm now gonna go in with 2 lip liners. I'm gonna use Sugar and Spice from LAGIRL and the Wet n Wild Cocoa. I'm gonna the Pro Conceal, and I use that to overline my lids to give it like a nice shadow of big lips. Going in with Cocoa. I don't know how I can stress about it, but you guys, this is a good liner, especially for deeper tones. It's such a good liner. Like, Achieve It All 155 from Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayon, and I'm just gonna put that just in the center. Off with In Love with Cocoa gloss. Lash from Revlon under my lash. I mess up all the time, and it's because my lashes are so small. And the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Prep and Set spray. Alright you guys, so I ended up doing this look right here. It was really supposed to be a soft glam, but my jewels became like Chola vibe, which is okay. I pinned it up with my hair, made it look a little messy, not so perfect, but I am liking this. It's kind of like a vibe, but it's very pretty. I use all the products. I will list down all the products in my description. And that's all that I have for today. So thank you guys for watching my mini tutorial, and I'll see you guys next time on my next.